Hello guys, welcome to my next tutorial. Today I would like to show you how to crochet this beautiful lace collar. For this tutorial I am using crochet hook size 1.5 millimeters, and you will also need about half a 50-gram ball of crochet thread yarn size number 10. This is an adult size, so for this project I start by making 120 chain stitches, but if you would like to make it with the smaller size or even a little bit bigger, you need to use multiply of 12 chain stitches at the beginning plus an extra 3 for the first double crochet. So as I said, I've done my collar by using 120 chain stitches, but you can make it for any size. So the best way is just measure how many chain stitches you will need for your size. For my size, I've done 120 chain stitches, and now we need to add another extra 3 chain stitches as a first double crochet. So if you need to make it bigger, you need to add extra multiple of 12 chain stitches. So I've done 3, and now into the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3 and 4, we need to make double crochet, and now in each chain stitch all the way across we will work 1 double crochet. So at the end we should have 119 double crochets plus chain 3 from the beginning, or exactly the same number of stitches as we've done chain stitches at the beginning, plus chain 3 of course. So 1 double crochet in each stitch. So I've done my 120 stitches. Now we need to start row number 2. Chain of 3 as a first double crochet, then chain of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a chain 6 space. Then we have to skip the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the 4th stitch. Chain of 6 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then skip next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the 4th. Chain of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip the next 1, 2, 3 stitches, double crochet into the 4th. So now we need to continue this pattern all the way across. So chain of 6 and double crochet into the 4th stitch. At the end we should have only 3 stitches left, 2 double crochets and chain 3. So now we need to work the last chain of 6 and double crochet into the top of chain 3. And now chain 1, then we need to turn our work, row number 3. Now we have to work slip stitch into the first 2 chain stitches, chain of 3, 1, 2, 3. So chain 1, then slip stitch into the first chain 3 stitches, now chain of 3 as a first double crochet into the same chain space, again double crochet, then chain of 2. Now still into the first chain space, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2. 2 double crochets into the same chain space, 1 and 2, and again chain of 2, and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So into the first chain 6 space we've done 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3, and again 2 double crochets. So 8 double crochets and 3 chain 2 spaces. The same we will work in each chain 6 space. So now we are going straight to the second one, and we need to make again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and one more time chain of 2 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So again 4 groups of 2 double crochets and 3 chain 2 spaces. Now we have to go to the next chain 6 space, and again the same 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. So again 8 double crochets and 3 chain 2 spaces. So the same pattern we need to repeat in each chain 6 space all the way across. I am at the end of my third row. Now we need to start row number 4, so chain 1, then we need to turn our work, slip stitch into the first 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then slip stitch into the chain 2 space, so into the next 2 chain stitches, 1 and 2, then into the second group of 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, so in each double crochet, and slip stitch into the chain 2 space. So no, not into the chain stitch, but into the chain 2 space. So now we are in the middle of the shell, so in the second chain 2 space, and we need to make chain of 3 as a first double crochet, then 1 more double crochet, chain of 2, then into the same chain 2 space 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, then another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2 and 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. So we've got exactly the same what we've done on the previous row. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So now we need to skip the last, we need to skip 2 double crochets, the last chain 2 space, and the last 2 double crochets in first chain 6 space, then first group of 2 double crochets, chain 2, and second group of 2 double crochets into the next chain 6 space. So into the center, into the second chain 2 space, we will work exactly the same. 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, then again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. Now we need to continue this pattern in each chain 6 space. So each time we need to go to the second chain 2 space, and we have to work 4 groups of 2 double crochets and 3 chain 2 spaces. So we need to skip chain 1 space, 4 chain 2 space, 4 double crochets, chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, and into the second chain 2 space again. So in the center of each shell we need to work another shell. Now we've got row 5. So again, chain 1, then the same as on the previous row, slip stitch into the first 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, slip stitch into the next 2 chain stitches, 1 and 2, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and slip stitch into the second chain 2 space. So again we are in the center of our first shell. Now we need to make chain of 3, then double crochet. So into the first shell we need to work the same shell as on the previous row. So chain of 2, then another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, and another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So we've done 4 groups of 2 double crochets and 3 chain 2 spaces. Into the second center of the shell, now we will work 9 treble crochets. So again we need to skip 2 double crochets, chain 2, then another 4 double crochets, chain 2, and another 2 double crochets. So into the second chain 2 space in next shell, 9 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now we need to go to the next shell and into the second chain 2 space, again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2, then 2 double crochets again, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets again, 1 and 2, chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. In the next shell, so into the next center of the shell, the same 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So we've done shell into the last 2 shells, and now into the next one, 9 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Into the next 2 shells, so 1 and 2, we need to repeat by making 2 shells as each round before. So 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, then 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So into the next again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, 2 double crochets and another 2, 1 and 2. So we've done 2 shells with the normal shell as here. So into the next 9 treble crochets. So from now we need to repeat the pattern. So after shell with 9 treble crochets, next 2 we need to work with the normal shells with 4 groups of 2 double crochets, and then again 7 treble crochets. After again 2 normal shells to the last shell. On the last one we should have only 1 shell, the same as we've done at the beginning. Now we've got round 6. So again chain 1, then slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets, so exactly the same as at the beginning of each round now, row number. So now then slip stitch into the next 2 chain stitches, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and slip stitch into the second chain 2 space. So now we are in the center of our shell, and again chain of 3 as the first double crochet, then 1 more double crochet, chain of 2, 2 double crochets into the same chain 2 space, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets into the same chain 2 space, 1 and 2, chain of 2 and 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. Now again we need to skip 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, then first treble crochet, 1 treble crochet into the second treble crochet, or actually what we need to do, we need to work not in the stitches but into the spaces between 2 double crochets. So 1 treble crochet between the first 2 treble crochets, chain 1, then 1 treble crochet into the next space between 2 treble crochets, chain 1, 1 treble crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, treble crochet into the next, chain 1, then into the next, chain 1, into the next, chain 1 and into the next, space. So we are still working between spaces between treble crochets. One more time, chain 1 and treble crochet into the last space. So now we should have 2, 4, 6, 8 treble crochets and 7 chain 1 spaces, so between each treble crochet on this row. And now we are going straight to the center of the next shell, and we have to work another shell. So 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, then again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. The same we need to work in the center of the next shell, so into the second chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, then another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So we've done 3 groups of 2 double crochets, so one more time chain of 2 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And again we are going into the space between first 2 treble crochets, and we have to work 1 treble crochet, chain 1, then into the next space another treble crochet, chain 1, into the next space, treble crochet, chain 1, and now we need to keep continue to the last space. So again we should have 8 treble crochets plus 7 chain 1 spaces, and now this pattern we need to repeat to the end. Row 7. So again, chain 1 at the beginning, slip stitch into the first 2 double crochets, 1, 2, slip stitch into the next 2 chain stitches, 1, 2, into the next double crochets, 1 and 2, and into the next chain 2 space, chain of 3, then double crochet. So again we need to work shell in the center of the shell from the previous row, chain of 2, then 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, then 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain of 2, 2 more double crochets. Now we are going into the first chain 1 space between first 2 treble crochets, and we will work 2 treble crochets, 1 and 2, into the next space 2 treble crochets again, 1 and 2, 2 treble crochets into the next space, 1 and 2, and in each space we need to make 2 treble crochets. So at the end we should have 14 treble crochets. So I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 2 into the next, so 10, 12, 13 and 14. Into the next shell, we need to work shell again. So into the second chain 2 space, 2 double crochets. So basically now the pattern we need to repeat to the end. So shell in the center of each shell from the previous row, and into the chain 1 space we need to work 2 treble crochets. Row 8. We need to start by making slip stitch into the first double crochets, 1 and 2, slip stitch into the chain into each chain stitch, 1 and 2, then into the next 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and into the next chain 2 space. So now we are again in the center of our shell, and we will work chain of 3 as a first double crochet, then 1 more double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So now we are making only 1 chain 2 space, and we need to go into the first space between first 2 treble crochets, single crochet, then chain of 5, 1 2 3 4 5, then we need to skip space between next 2 treble crochets and single crochet into the next space, chain of 5, 1 2 3 4 5, skip next space, single crochet into the second, chain of 5, 1 2 3 4 5, skip first space, single crochet into the second, chain of 5 again, 3 4 5, skip first space, single crochet into the second, chain of 5, skip first space, single crochet into the second, and again chain of 5, skip first space and single crochet into the second. So now we should have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 chain 5 spaces. Into the chain 2 space, second. So first we need to skip into the second 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2, 2 double crochets into the same chain 2 space, 1 and 2. Then we need to skip next chain 2 space, and again, and into the center of the next shell again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain of 2 and another 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Now we have to skip last chain 2 space and into the space between first 2 treble crochets, single crochet, then chain of 5. Then again we have to skip first space into the second single crochet, then chain of 5. So now we need to repeat what we've done here, and then all pattern to the end. So at the end again, into the last shell we need to work 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets, and now we will start row number 9. So chain 1, then slip stitch into the first 2 double crochets and slip stitch into the first chain 2 space, chain of 3 as a first double crochet, then chain of 2 as a chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the same chain space, chain of 2 and 1 more double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So we've done 3 double crochets and 2 chain 2 spaces. Now we are going into the first chain 5 space, and we will work treble crochet, chain of 2, and again treble crochet, chain of 2, and one more treble crochet. Into the next chain 5 space the same, treble crochet, chain 2, then treble crochet, chain 2, and treble crochet. The same with the next chain 5 space, treble crochet, chain 2, then treble crochet, chain 2, and one more treble crochet. So the same pattern we need to repeat into the next 3 chain 5 spaces. After the last 3 treble crochets into the last chain 5 space, now we need to go into the chain 2 space and we will work again double crochet, chain 2, then double crochet, chain 2, and one more double crochet. Then into the next chain 2 space the same, double crochet, chain 2, then double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. Now again we've got chain 5 space and we have to work again treble crochet, chain 2, then treble crochet, chain 2, and one more treble crochet. So now the pattern we need to repeat to the end of this row. In each chain 5 space we are working treble crochets, and in each chain 2 space we need to work double crochet. Now we've got row 10, so we will start by making single crochet into the first chain 2 space, then chain of 3, and single crochet into the same chain 2 space. Now single crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain of 3, single crochet into the same chain 2 space. So in each chain 2 space we need to work single crochet, chain 3, and then single crochet. Now we need to go to the next one and exactly the same, single crochet, chain 3, then single crochet into the next, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet. So now we need to repeat this pattern to the last chain 2 space. I've done my last single crochet, so single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet into the last chain 2 space, and now we will start working on the edge. So we will start by making chain of 3, then slip stitch into the first chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, so basically into the first chain, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the top of double crochet from the previous row, and again chain of 3, slip stitch into the first chain from the hook, chain 1, and slip stitch into the top of double crochet from the previous row, so into the first one, chain of 3, slip stitch into the first chain or into the first from the hook, chain 1, slip stitch into the first double crochet from the next row, chain 3, slip stitch into the first chain from the hook, chain 1, and slip stitch into the next double crochet from next row, chain 3, slip stitch into the first chain from the hook, chain 1, slip stitch into the next double crochet in next row, chain of 3, slip stitch into the third chain, then chain 1, slip stitch into the next double crochet, chain of 3, slip stitch into the first chain or into the third from the hook, chain 1, and now we need to make slip stitch into the top of double crochet from the first row, chain of 3, slip stitch into the bottom, so in the exactly the same chain stitch as we've done first double crochet. So our first edge we've got done, and now we will work on the opposite side of the foundation chain. So we have to start by making chain of 3 as a first double crochet, then chain of 3, slip stitch into the third chain from the hook, chain 1, and now we will work double crochet in a space between two double crochets, just in the same place as we've done double crochet on row number 2. So not into the chain stitch but into the space, chain of 3, slip stitch into the third chain, then chain 1, and again double crochet into the space in the same line as we've done double crochet on the second row, chain of 3, slip stitch into the third chain, then chain 1, and double crochet into the same stitch as we've done double crochet on row number 2. So now basically we need to repeat this pattern to the end. So now I am at the end. I've done double crochet into the last double crochet, and then we need to repeat what we done on the opposite side. So we will start by making chain of 3, then slip stitch into the top of the same double crochet, and now chain of 3, slip stitch into the third chain, then chain of 1, and slip stitch into the first double crochet in next row. And again chain of 3. Oh, I've got problem. Okay, chain of 3, slip stitch into the first chain, then chain 1, and slip stitch into the next double crochet in next row, chain of 3, slip stitch into the first chain, chain 1, then slip stitch into the next double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch into the first chain or third from the hook, chain 1, slip stitch into the next double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch into the third chain, chain 1, then slip stitch into the next double crochet, chain of 3, slip stitch into the first or third chain, chain 1, then slip stitch into the next double crochet, one more time, chain 3, slip stitch into the first chain of third from the hook, chain 1, slip stitch into the last row, so into the last double crochet. So now that's it. Now we can fasten off and cut the yarn. Now we need to attach button to the one side, just somewhere on the top, and that's it. So thank you for staying with me to the end of this tutorial, and see you next time.